Well, good morning and welcome back to the Pap Laszlo Arena in Budapest. It's the final day of individual competition here at the World Championships. A very good morning to you. We're going to take a look at the two weight categories that are taking place today. These are the super heavyweights. It's the plus 78 kilo category for women and the plus 100 kilo category for men. I'll take a look at the top four seeds and then we'll go through a few of the matchups and their records. Let's start by taking a look at the top four seeds in the plus 78 kilo category for women. And the number one seed is the former Olympic gold medalist and twice world champion Idalis Ortiz of Cuba. She was silver medalist in 2019, and I think the real thing to look at with Idalis Ortiz is her record against her biggest rivals. The number two seed is Maria Suelen Alterman of Brazil, against whom Idalis Ortiz has a 16-0 record. Beaten her 16 times, so doesn't look good for Maria Suelen Alterman if they have that head-to-head. As far as Alterman of Brazil is concerned, against other competitors, she's got a 5-1 record against her teammate, a number three seed Beatriz Souza, and a 6-2 record against the number four seed Maria Slutskaya. Beatriz Souza was fifth in 2019, losing to Kyra Sayet in that bronze medal contest. And as far as Marina Slutskaya is concerned, I said the 2-1 record against Ortiz. She is the bronze medalist from this year's European Championships. Outside of the top four seeds, there are plenty of athletes to look at, including former world champion Asahina Sara of Japan, and there's another Japanese athlete in there as well, Tomita Wakabe. So two Japanese super heavyweights to look out for, and if you know the history of super heavyweight athletes in the women's division, it's normally Japan, China, Cuba, or in recent times we've had a couple of the French athletes doing really well, so look out for them. Outside of that group, Larissa Čerić of Bosnia-Herzegovina, and I would like to see what will happen with Milica Sabic of Serbia, and the reason I say that is that the Serbians have had a really good showing at these World Championships, and a good performance from Sabic today will see her take a place in the Olympic Games. It really has to be a good performance from her if she's going to do something. Right, let's take a look at the top four seeds in the plus 100 kilo category for men. And the number one seed here is Tamerlan Bashaev, representing the RJF. The number two seed is Rafael Silva of Brazil. The number three seed is Kageuro Kokoro of Japan. And the number four seed is Gela Zalishvili of Georgia. I think for all of these countries, all of the four top seeds, you can mention someone else from that country who is a close rival. Tamerlan Bashaev has Inal Tasoyev to deal with, but it's Tamerlan Bashaev who is the current European champion himself, a junior world champion back in 2015. He is 1-1 against Kageuro Kokoro of Japan.
Be ready, last day for the individuals. 3 minutes to go.
Sorry about that. Kageuro Kokoro of Japan. First at the world, it's his first time at the World Championships, and he's probably going to be best remembered for his defeat of Teddy Riner. Number four seed, Gela Zalishvili, he also has a rivalry, and that is with the former world champion Goran Tusishvili. Rafael Silva, the number two seed, he is up against his own demons, if you like, someone else that is giving him a problem in Brazil, David Moura, and he is here today. So there's lots to be looking at in these particular matchups. Rafael Silva, twice an Olympic bronze medalist and 3 times a world medalist. Outside of that group, well, you've got the Olympic bronze medalist from Israel, Or Sasson, Roy Meyer of the Netherlands, my particular favourite, Yahiv Kamo of Ukraine, and there's a real outsider for me in Pool D, Martti Pumalainen of Finland. Now, not a lot of people will have heard of Pumalainen, but he's been showing some real form, and I think that is someone to look out for. Right, I think that has given us a fairly good rundown of who to look out for in the super heavyweights, both male and female. We have 3 mats as usual, and our commentary teams are on mat 1, Loretta Cusack-Doyle. On mat 2, it will be Neil Adams, and on mat 3, it is Dennis van der Geest. We've got a minute before we get underway, time enough for you to gather your thoughts, sit back and enjoy the action.
Well, good morning and welcome to day 7 of the World Judo Championships, the last of the individual competition, and held here in the beautiful city of Budapest. Today we will be covering the weight categories of the plus 78s for women and the plus 100 kilograms for men. I'm Loretta Cusack-Doyle and I will be following the action on mat number 1. And my colleagues Neil Adams, the voice of judo, will be covering on mat number 3. A little bit of change from normal. Normally has been covering the mat number 2. But Dennis van der Geest, notorious and most probably one of the most well-known heavyweights in this IJF team, is covering mat number 2 today. And obviously there's something on mat number 2 that we haven't noticed that's going to be very exciting a little bit later on. So keep an eye out there. So here we are started with Mongolia in white, and we have there Gasparian representing the RJF in on the blue gi. Amaskan representing Mongolia in the white. But Gasparian starts off the day as she hopes to continue. Very sharp attack there. Falling through in.
Wins on mat number 3. So mat number 3 kicks it off. First round, remember, are unseeded fight.
It's very strong grip there from the Mongolian.
To the second round fight.
But too defensive at this moment. Needs to get that head up a little bit.
C and D here on mat number 3.
As you can see, Gasparian in the blue.
Tatami there, and just
Slightly shorter than her opponent from Mongolia, but uses the Ashiwaza Sasai and then follows down into the Niwaza, rotating her opponent onto her back and looks securing the Osakomi for Ippon. So Wazari only has to hold for 10 seconds to get the Wazari Aseti Ippon, and a great win for RJF. Good start, and we'll see how she continues through the different stages of this competition.
40 fighters starting this plus 78 kilos category. Two representatives from Japan, of course, Asahina, who's a former world champion, but she's #2 choice for the Olympic Games, and Tamita.
Well, we've got a great lineup in this weight category in the under 78s. .48 competitors. Ortiz being the #1 seed, but down in the bottom half of the draw. Athema from Brazil as the 2nd seed, but we have a lineup of some really strong players, such as the Japanese Sara Asahina, who'll be here looking for gold in this weight category. So we'll have to watch her progress very closely indeed. Zabic representing Serbia here now in the white. Grabowski there representing Germany in the blue. And the Germans have had a great performance throughout this week at the World Championships. Wagner taking the gold medal yesterday to the delight of the crowd, and in such style as well.
She has the sleeve, has the lapel, but she's going to have to go in for an attack.
Zabic attempting there a Sianagi, but just fell a little bit too short, didn't actually get the hips in deep enough. Got to be careful there, because it can be perceived as being a defensive action, and she'll pick up a Shido. Well, they've got a Shido apiece now at this moment, and it's just past the first minute. Grabowski looks on the first grip there. She's that strong controlling grip on the lapel, but slow to react. Zabric, multiple attacks there, not threatening at this moment, but she's looking very busy. But sometimes you put too many in, and if they're not spot on, you start picking up the Shidos for them. And that's exactly what's happened. She's 2 Shidos down now, 2.5 minutes remaining, and it's not looking very good for her unless she can really connect and get the timing perfect on these attacks. Grabowski. Good strong grip, still yet to see her do something. Steps across looking for a big harai. Works her opponent to the edge of the contest area. Both got very strong defensive grips, but still to really put the attacks in. Zabric under pressure here, although attempting so many attacks, a couple of them fell short, picked up the Shidos, and this could be possibly a Shido apiece here. Well, she was lucky not to get that. So Grabowski, oh, she's got the 2 Shidos, and one obviously for Zabic has taken off. 1.5 minutes remaining. The German, as I said earlier on, she's been controlling with the grips, very, very strong gripping style, but too defensive at this moment. And although she attempted what looked to be the harai, wasn't committed enough in showing us that it was an intentional way to move forward and attack her opponent. It was more of a show. Comes in with the Uchimata, though, this time. Again, didn't get the lift or rotation off the Uchimata. Uchimata trying to, again, coming deep, but falling onto her face. Tried to cup the head for the Makakomi, which eventually was able to, Zabic was able to slip out and force her opponent to the ground. Zabic not obviously wanting to venture down in the Niwaza. As we've got 40 seconds remaining. 2 shidos to 1. Again, like a Koshiguruma sort of style, but again, no real true entry with the hips. Grabowski coming round the back, and yes, you have it. And Ippon in the last 15 seconds of this contest. Well, she was threatening she was overpowering her opponent on several occasions, but failed to really connect on most of the time with her attacks. But on this last one, changed the direction from a forward attack to a rear, which became much more successful, scoring an Ippon and taking her into the second round. So some great highlights at the end of that contest. Now we have Sarah Adlington representing Great Britain in the white, Alvarez from Spain in the blue. Well, Adlington, slightly taller than her opponent, has those long limbs that could be beneficial in this contest. She can get close enough to get the long legs across. Either the left-handed Big Harai Osota. Good strong grip there, as you can see, the left hand on the lapel. Slightly blocked by Alvarez, though, in the inside on the lapel. Alvarez looking to distract Adlington by touching that leg, as you can see with the Ashiwaza. Not really threatening at this moment, but the threat is when Alvarez starts to turn the hips into Sarah Adlington. Adlington works her opponent to the edge of the contest area. In fact, in 2019 in Tashkent, Adlington beat Alvarez. So she will have that in the back of her mind to build that confidence up going into this first round. A little bit nerve-wracking and shaky in your first match of the day. But here you have Adlington now in trouble as she's gotten held down in the Osakomi. Alvarez securing tightly, and Adlington struggling there, doesn't have any room to maneuver. Attempts to grab the leg, but sadly for Adlington, left herself very vulnerable in the Niwaza, and Alvarez capitalized in it and took the win and a place in the second round of this World Championship. Sadly for Adlington, she is out of the World Championships. And we're hoping that this doesn't upset the lineup of the qualification stage for the Olympic Games. At this moment, Adlington has qualified for the European quarter, but we have seen so many times throughout this World Championships in the past 6 days that has all changed for a few of these athletes that were in and now find they're out. So hopefully that will not change based on those that are there and thereabouts on the order of qualifying will not affect Adlington's position. Ilmatova representing Uzbekistan here in the white. Kutra-Kelly representing the United States of America.
Well, Ultimate is the #1 seed in this World Championships. Souza of Brazil is the #2 seed. So,
well, Nina coming home for a big we're turning it into a big Haramakokomi. Very, very strong. Stayed really powerful and upright on that. Great entry. What we've seen in a couple of the matches is that the heavyweights tend to fall very quickly to the ground. But as you can see, the height was still there, which gave her the room to maneuver opponent over to get the Wazari. Great throw from the American. And a brilliant start. Ilmatova now has got to do some work. Good strong grip from the American, as you can see, on the lapel, on the sleeve, controlling quite nicely. I do like being so upright and very powerful indeed, the American. She looks good and she looks very confident out there. Again, that big leg comes over the top, powerful indeed. Attempts once more. What we saw was very successful, the big Haramakokomi. Oh, this time she let go of her grip, left herself very vulnerable. And now is she going to pay the price for that? Ilmatova countered her, got the Wazari, and now she's securing the Osakomi. Well, what an error the American has made, but she really has to go some to try and get out, but sadly not enough time. 10 seconds is no time whatsoever to get out of a hold down nowadays. Gosh, in my day it was 30 seconds and at least you had a chance, but a Wazari down, you've got 10 seconds. So really, no sooner you hit that ground, you've got to be trying to get out. So Ilmatova, after a surprising start, was being dominated by the American, turned it all around and got herself into the second round. Sadly there, for Nina, she is out of the World Championships. Not quite sure what they're looking at right now. Maybe there's something we've missed. Kutra-Kelly, I'm not quite sure. She looks as if she knows something as well, but it's not for her to tell the referee how to do his job. That's for the care system to have a thorough look. Let's see what we can see. Well, it looks like she actually touched the leg below the belt to assist the counter. And if that's the case, the score doesn't count, which means she would never have got into the Niwaza, which means that they're back up to Wazari and... oh, they're actually looking, but so they've kept it going. I just thought that there was that situation there that it looked like she touched below the belt to assist her, but never mind. The decision is being made and the care system has had a thorough look and
knows that it's a possibility here. She might just
now we have Ortiz, one of my favorites in this weight category, and
Altman goes through, and we are now
And she's up against Kulaga
into the second round.
from Poland.
Time that we've seen
Ortiz,
Brazil.
for me, is one of the most consistent athletes in this weight category. And one of the most loveliest persons that I've ever come across. Biggest smile in the world of judo. That and Fonseca. Another one of my favorites. Just look as if they're enjoying life immensely.
Tatami 3, next contest, second round for women over 78 kilo. In white for Brazil, Maria Suelin Alteman. In blue for Ukraine, Елизавета Kalanina.
Coming over, and I always
Kulaga
feel that
there trying to work in the Niwaza, just found herself on the receiving end of an attack, moved her to make it a good, strong attack against the Polish.
opting to go over the top there.
And now she secures the Osakomi. And it doesn't look like her opponent's actually going to be able to maneuver herself out of that. And like we said, Wazari down, 10 seconds for a hold down. Very little time to do much. We have seen it, but normally it's right from the first exchange into the Niwaza. If someone reacts quick enough, they've got a chance. So Ortiz goes through to the next round with a big smiley face and a thank you very much for that.
Right arm going over there, trying to pull Altman's head in. Altman hasn't done anything herself yet. She's been posturing, defending. Now she has. It's going to be a
Well, now we have Gabriella Wood from Trinidad and Tobago in the white,
to the third.
Gasparian representing the RJF in the blue. Well, Gasparian there, as you can see, that right hand high on the collar, drawing down. But also there you have, well, Wood down to her knees. Now into the Niwaza. Now she could be in trouble here. Gasparian quite strong in her Niwaza. And as you can see, rotating that arm across. Looking for the Jujikatami, but Wood defending nicely there in the Niwaza. Gabriella Wood trains out of the UK, but there takes a bit of a flying lesson with a big Harai Makakomi. Over she went, and Gasparian from RJF takes the convincing win over opponents for a place in the second round. Oh, what a belter that was. Well, definitely that's a throw that's going to be in the highlights at the end of the day. Nice, clean attack, very tight indeed as that arm comes across, capturing the head, and then planting her opponent firmly on her back for the ippon.
Tatami Prix, next contest, second round for women over 78 kilo. In white for Portugal, Rochelle Nunes. In blue for Japan, Tomita Wakaba.
Egyes számú szőnyegre lép Bosznia-Hercegovina színeiben Larissa Cserics ellenfel a Franciaországot képviselő Julia Kaspa. Kettes számú szőnyegre állt, plusz 100 kg második fordulóján Izrael.
Now we have Čerić of Bosnia and Herzegovina in the white. Tolofua representing France in the blue.
Place in Tel Aviv Grand Slam 2021 and third in the Paris tournament. Nunes always winning medals.
Well, Čerić, as we know, is always one of these athletes that's there and thereabouts on the podium. Can, although small in stature, very, very strong and can move these big ladies. Indeed, when she gets under him, and there you see it, the first opening attack, and scores a Wazari. Steps across, Makikomi, very powerful move.
They're trying to use the hands in order to take her opponent over. Seventh day of competition.
But sadly gets caught there, and that was a bit of a surprise.
What an amazing world championship. So many.
And also for Čerić, there's that long, powerful leg stepped across there. Looked to be the Harai, but it did actually come up the centre, and Čerić looked very surprised, just clipped her ankles together. She lost her balance, and what a powerful athlete. Definitely one to watch and see how she progresses. Maratova now representing Kazakhstan in the white. Grabowski of Germany in the blue. Grabowski we saw in the earlier round, and started off a little bit slow, but actually when she connected and she finished them big, there's no doubt about it. Very powerful in her finish. Osota. She also has the Kosota, which was a change of direction, takes her opponents by surprise. And there's the Osota there. Wazari scored. Maratova tried to rescue it, but the connection with that arm was something that just couldn't avoid going down and had no defences.
Initiating a technique. There's another one there from Tomita.
Grabowski using her feet as she was, stumbling her opponent down into the ground. Tries to lever her up to create an opening there, but just looked a bit of a roughening up more than actually a technical approach there. Grabowski, left hand over on the collar, now across on the shoulder again for the Makikomi, and once more scoring ippon. Well, when she gets connected, how tight that grip is when she comes and captures the shoulder and pulls the arm in towards her chest, then starts to rotate. There's no gap, no chance to get out of that. And there's some of the highlights of that. Some nice big throws from these athletes. Well, Slutskaya from Belarus up against Alvarez, who we saw in the previous match against Adlington. Slutskaya 8th in the world ranking.
Doesn't know what to do, does she, Nunes?
29 years of age. And someone who we see majority of time in the World Tour on that podium in various positions. Last time she was on the top position with a gold medal was at the European Games in Minsk 2019. But since then, recent results in Kazan Grand Slam, she was silver medalist at the European Senior Championships, bronze medal, and Tel Aviv was also a bronze medalist there. So definitely an athlete that's on form.
Representing Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, Marian Ibrahim. In blue, representing Togo, Eswana Noelin Koro.
And Slutskaya coming in for that Sienagi, a little bit slow. Alvarez had plenty of time to prepare for that brace, but finds herself, though, in a very tricky situation. Down 2 shidos, one more would result in a hand sokimaki. So for Alvarez, she really has to put some work in now. And Slutskaya is... So sadly, Alvarez is in a bit of trouble, but for those that are at home watching, now for anybody that's had been watching that match and obviously supporting of Alvarez, which we all are, just to let you know that she is in good hands and getting well looked after, and I can assure you that everything that's possibly capable of doing, we will make sure that this athlete gets the best attention. So Slutskaya goes through to the next round, and she'll obviously be very concerned of her opponents, like we all are. And Alvarez will keep updated on how she is getting on. I'm sure she'll be fine. Now we have the match coming up now very shortly.
Egyes számú szőnyegen plusz 78 kg-val lép szőnyegre. Puerto Rico képviseletében Melissa Mojica ellenfele az Ukrajnát.
Well, we have Mojica representing Peru.
Oh, that's a nice combination.
I'm sorry, representing Puerto Rico, my mistake.
Decides to go right the way across. Both flanks
24 on the world ranking.
down.
Ojika looking very strong, looking for the Ashiwaza, 37 years of age. One of the more mature athletes in this weight division. Just missed out on a medal in Kazan. Had a great performance there for Puerto Rico. 5th place and bronze medal in the Pan American Senior Championships. Also just missed out on a medal in Antalya and in Tel Aviv. So someone who's just knocking on the door to get on that World Tour podium.
That big right arm over the top there.
As you can see, pulling off that sleeve, looking for that makikomi, switching direction slightly.
Put a bigger attack in. Needs to commit.
Kirichenko
Soto Makikomi again.
from the Ukraine, finding herself in a very tricky situation as she's been held down now. Wazari, and now the Osakomi for Wazari Aseti Ipon. So that stumbling action there with her opponent.
Just over halfway. And again, just want to come across there. Salza just doing a good job of
So Najika
pulling that sleeve. There she is again onto
from Puerto Rico goes through to the next round of this women's plus 78 kilo category. And there's some of the highlights. That makikomi, the arm over the top, tightly connected as she went down, started to rotate, the head turning nicely, using the arm to brace herself to push her opponent over onto her back. Just clipping the shoulder, giving it a wazari, and then following through into the transition for Niwaza for the Osakomi.
and start to put some attacks in. He needs to get that score back.
Now this is the young lady we've been looking forward to seeing.
100 kilogram category. In white judogi, representing Georgia, Kayla Zalanishvili. In blue judogi, representing
Sara Asahina from Japan.
Bounce back and so the initial
9th in the world ranking. Spoke to her earlier on today and she says, my father is here. He is my warm-up partner. So we just said, well, you better look after your daddy. Make sure you don't hurt him. And especially in that warm-up. Strong athlete. In Düsseldorf took the gold medal in 2020, and in Osaka Grand Slam was bronze medalist. Sadly doesn't go to the games, but still a young enough athlete that will make 2024 in Paris, and has got the right frame of mind and the personality to go with that. Lovely lady. Ilmatova from Uzbekistan in the blue is up against her and is really up against it in this match. She's got a strong opponent to deal with, and Asahina is not messing around. Nice as she was, a nice rotation, not really getting the connection for the score, but she's up a wazari, which means it puts her in a much more comfortable position and controlling of this contest. And Ilmatova has really got to do some work now if she's going to come back and be any more a contender in this contest.
both the Brazilians through then.
The Uzbekistan's really got to open up Asahina because she's playing into Asahina's strengths there. Steps across, big harai into the makekomi, osakomi straight into the niwaza, holding it down, and the clock ticks away, and it's just a matter of time now, and Asahina will go through to the third round of this World Championships. Well, great start for Sara Asahina. And that will, as she said, her father is very nervous. And I thought, yes, all parents are very nervous when their children are competing. And yes, they're always going to be our children. So do that myself with my own son that competes. Sometimes it's easier to get on the mat yourself rather than watch your loved ones get out there instead. Big harai, good strong gripping style. Look at that face of determination, powering her opponent over and finishing it so elegantly at the end. Al-Qutani, Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. Valencic of Slovenia. Kosota follows through nicely into the Osakomi. Again, a very short-lived entrance here for White. Al-Qutani was really up against a very strong opponent on that one, and Valencic swiftly moves through to the fourth round. Or the second round, I should say. I'm trying to jump in front of myself here. These matches are coming through so quickly. Good ashiwaza, nicely controlled, following through into the niwaza. Her opponent, sadly, wasn't able to react quick enough as she was going down. Placed the hand down to try and brace herself, but the momentum of going through so quickly was too hard to defend. Now we're back up there with Ortiz. Ortiz, world ranked #1. And what a track record this athlete has over the years. Has really dominated the circuit for so long. Always, I think 99% of the times, always on that podium. A lot of the time in the finals.
Tatami 3, next contest. Second round for women.
Olympic champion, Olympic silver medalist, Olympic bronze medalist. My goodness me, in World Championships. She's got 2 of each colour. She'll be wanting 3 of one of them, and I'm quite sure it's the gold that she'll be wanting that 3rd gold medal.
Daniel in blue for Slovenia.
The last result that we had was last year, where she was in Dusseldorf at the Grand Slam when she was bronze medalist to the World Championships back in 2019. In Tokyo was silver medalist. in that World Championships in Tokyo. Lost to the other Japanese, Sone, in that final. Asahina, bronze medalist. And there Ortiz goes down into the knee waza with Gasparian to... She's, God love her, she's so cute. Ortiz, big smiley face. Third round, goes into the fourth round effortlessly. And so delicately, so polite, it's untrue. Big smiley face. And she is on form, but only in good humour, good form, technically as well as physically. Comes over on the back, draws her opponent down to the ground and down into straight away on that shimmy waza where she finishes her off. It was the only option there for Ortiz. Her opponent was very, very low. Tolofua representing France now. We saw her in the first round. I think she had a bye in the first, second there. She was very strong indeed. Powerful leg that comes across with a big hare, and as you can see, quite tall as well. Very well built for a heavyweight. Strong, that right arm that comes high onto the collar. Takes the sleeve. You can see she's setting it up there against Grabowski of Germany. No messing around, she's in there to win it. Now, if anyone's going to give anybody a run for their money in this weight category, is this French athlete, Tolofua.
Good aerial view there. We've got on a pole here. Just get some shots.
Uchimata needs to pull on that sleeve just a little bit more to get the finishing of the attack.
Inside, and I think that's what
22 on the world ranking list. Only 24 years of age, so he's got great potential as well for Paris Olympic Games 2024. Uchimata, one more, just a little bit more leverage on that sleeve would give her the rotation she's looked, but Grabowski defended nicely. Bracing on the Uchimata. Wouldn't like to try and avoid that technique too many times though. It's very strong, just needs a fine tweak with the sleeve grip and the rotation of the head that would make it very successful. But Grabowski stumbled at the edge of the contest area, fell down, and Tolofua just capitalized there with the Osakomi, fell into it, saying thank you very much for that. Osaka, the French girl, 5th place, just missed out in 2019 for a place on the podium. But a bronze medal in Brasilia in 2019. Looking good track record, has always been there and round, in Doha Masters this year, 7th place. So is starting to come to form, a lot of experience under her belt. She's been on the world tour for a few times now, and obviously the experience is doing her well. She's starting to come to form. Looking very powerful, but as you can see, that change of direction from the German, where she was a big mistake, and the French took full advantage of that. Tolofua goes through to the next round, the 4th round of this plus 78s.
Golden score, Tatami 2.
half attempt to the Uruguay.
Now we've got Slutskaya of Belarus, Majika of Puerto Rico in the blue.
Real clash there, just trying to grip up. It's not purposely done.
As I said before, Slutskaya, top 8 of the world ranking. "29 years of age. Best result to date, recent result I should say, is the second in Kazan. Also a bronze in just recently in the European Championships.
Sort of Makikomi, but no hands keeping contact. And over she goes again.
No world medal though, so she gets on the podium here. That'll be the first time she medals at World Championship.
Tatami 2, next contest, second round for men over 100 kilo category.
Majika,
In white, judogi, representing...
we saw her in her previous matches, and yeah, she's looking strong, but she's up against a tougher opponent this time.
Representing Montenegro, Anto Tubreta.
Defeated the Ukraine,
Or not, she needs to be
had a bye in the first round. 24 on the world ranking. And the latest result that we had for Melissa is a bronze medal in the Pan American Championships, which was back in April. Last time we saw her in Europe was in Kazan last month, and she just got pipped to the post for the place on the podium at the repechage final. So 2 Shidos to 1 at this moment. It's been a very close fought match between both athletes. Majika really has to get her head up now. She's getting drawn down and getting dominated here in this contest. 2 Shidos, and she's really got to start putting a couple of attacks in of her own. Slutskaya, I think, got caught in the face there, but not intentional. Things like this happen. It comes with the sport.
Brazília színeiben Rafael Silva, ellenfele a kubák képviselő Andy Granda.
Majika trying to chase her opponent, Slutskaya defending, but comes in with that Sianagi, and it was really off the mark. You've got to be careful putting attacks in at such later stage now, especially she's in the driving seat. She's got away with that. The referee gives her the benefit of the doubt with the last 40 seconds remaining. Puerto Rican really has to now change the pace of this contest and also the tactics and how she's going to play the last 30 seconds. And that's not the way to do it. Again, she gets caught with the Sianagi attempt. Slutskaya is still no closer to throwing her opponent. But it is a strong enough attack to pile more pressure on her opponent. It's like the old saying, if you're attacking, your opponent's defending, but then that's an awful attempt there. And the referee cannot turn a blind eye to that one. He does. Oh, he doesn't. Well, I thought she was going to get away with it again, but no, we've seen a couple like that now, and there's only so many we can see without saying, well, no, we've got to give another warning. So we're into the golden score. And as you see now, it is anybody's. 2 shidos apiece, but Slutskaya is the one that has actually put the attacks in. She's been the most dominant with the grips. Majika really has to now do some work. She's got to change this about. Can she up her game? Well, she takes the sleeve. Is she going to be able to work from that sleeve grip? Well, Slutskaya takes the lapel and a sleeve grip. Tries to turn the hips through. Majika comes in for an attempt of a sodi. Gets blocked by Slutskaya, falls to the ground, but again, nothing coming through into the niwaza.
Zari scored there. That was a nice technique by Mabala.
Double sleeve grip for the Puerto Rican, who comes across with one now, looking for the Makikomi, but it was so loose, and when she went down to the ground, has left an opportunity here for Slutskaya to rotate her opponent over, but doesn't manage to take advantage of that.
Nicely done there. Just needs to hold her now for 10 seconds. Sense of urgency there from Mabala.
Slutskaya comes in for another Sianagi, drop into her knees.
Mabala and Zingana go through, and this was urgency. I mean, look at
Well, not one of the most exciting matches, I must admit. Both athletes very short in their finishings. An attempt of another Makikomi. You just feel that one of these athletes have just got to change direction, and it might be the winning ingredient for them. Oh, gosh. Well, that is so poor, and without even a grip, she knew it when she had done that. Can't ignore that. And there, that third and final Shido, Hansokimaki. Majika goes through to the next round for Puerto Rico. A couple of the highlights. Well, Slutskaya did a lot of work as far as the attacks were concerned, but they didn't play a major dominance. There wasn't something that you could say was close enough to scoring. She looked busier. I think that's the word we could say, but when it come down to the golden score, it was Slutskaya that faded very quickly. So now we have Sara Asahina for Japan in the white. Valensek representing Slovenia in the blue. Valensek 25 on the world ranking. "30 years of age." And just last month in the European Judo Open in Zagreb was the gold medalist. A nice change of direction. Sasai. Now, this is where the Japanese are so strong. Their transition into Niwaza is deadly. Now, Valensek has to be very careful. Valensek, a bronze medalist in the Olympic Games in Rio, and has a silver and a bronze medal in the World Championships. Silver back in 2015. And a bronze in 2014. So an experienced athlete against the talented Asahina of Japan. Someone that is one for the future, there's no doubt about it. But Valensek working her way into the Niwaza, looking for the shimmy waza there, digging in deep, but I wouldn't imagine there was much on offer there from Asahina. As I said, Asahina 9th on the world ranking, 24 years of age. As far as a heavyweight, still a babby.
Tatami 2, next contest, second round for men over 100.
Valensek trying desperately to move Asahina, try and break her balance. Asahina trying to break the grips. Is upper Wazari. Still not happy to settle with the Wazari. Trying desperately to break through the defensive grip of Valensek, who comes in for a Makakomi, totally dismissed by Asahina. With a minute and a half remaining in this third round match. Ashiwaza's breaking up her opponent from Slovenia. Again, lovely Ashiwaza. Wazari Aseti upon, and this is where Asahina is one of the most stylish athletes in the heavyweights. The variety of techniques that she can display out there, the Ashiwazas, the Sasai, the Osotagaris, the Harais, and the Sianagis, and the Makakomis, all wrapped up in one. It makes her, and then so dangerous in the Niwaza as well. Very agile athlete. Beautiful change of direction, nicely controlled.
Break, 10 minutes.
Egyes számú szőnyegen 10 perc szünet következik.
Again, another one that will be for the highlight package. Beautiful technique, nice upper body control, good head action.
Next contest, third round for women over 78 kilogram category. In white judogi, representing Japan, Tomita Wakara. In blue judogi, representing Togo, Noeli Koro.
just balance through to the quarterfinals.
Tatami 3, next contest, third round for women over 78 kilo. In white for Brazil, Beatriz Souza. In blue for Croatia, Ivana Maranic. Tatami 2, next contest, second round for men over 100 kilo. In white for Mongolia, Uzibair Kurenbair. In blue for Austria, Stefan Hegi. Tatami 1. It's time for the first quarter final for women over 78 kilos.
So we're now back in action on match number 1, where we've got the first of the quarter final matches, and this is up against Ortiz of Cuba in the white, Tolofua representing France in the blue. Now, the last time and the only time that these two have had a head-to-head competed against each other was back in 2019 in Düsseldorf Grand Slam. And obviously the winner at that stage was Ortiz. Now, there's been a few years gone since then, and has there been any improvement from the French athlete to change that about and make it 1-all, and knock out the number 1 seed and the big Cuban hopeful of a world champion? Tolofua overshadows Ortiz in height, but I don't know so much in ability. One of the most consistent champions that we have in the plus 78s is Ortiz. Always someone's there on the podium.
She went onto her back there. She'll be looking for a score, but with any kind of counter, if you go onto your back, then it can't score for you. And of course, the video referee asked for, and so it will go to the supervisors.
Tolofua takes the grip on the lapel, throws that right arm over the top. Ortiz comes in for a Sienagi.
Counter technique.
Felt a little bit of power from a French opponent, and decided not to really contend that entry in that attack. We sensed a bit of a counter coming from the French athlete. Lapel sleeve from Tolofua. Ortiz working off the sleeves as she creeps round the back with that left hand, as you can see. Now comes in the inside, but takes the sleeves once more for a Sodi attempt. Well, the referee felt there was enough commitment in that last attack. Very close, bordering though. Got to be careful as she drops under an opponent that she gets full movement.
Now she comes forward here.
Takes the lapel and sleeve. Left hand on that sleeve, controlling the right side of Tolofua. Tolofua with the lapel, but there's that dangerous right arm round the back of Ortiz as she controls, but Ortiz, agile as she is, comes under her opponent, sacrificing herself underneath Tolofua and breaking up that grip straight away. Second Shido for Tolofua needs to now come into action, taking a little bit onus of this contest. Works off the sleeve. You can see that right hand hovering around, looking for the grip over the top of Ortiz. Ortiz hunting for the lapel. Knows that she's just got to control, but the arm comes over the top. The danger of Ortiz with that arm round the back most probably is more deadlier. And there you have it, the Sienagi, the hips come in, the powering through of the technique. Tolofua just rescuing herself at the latter stage of that. And we not have got this at hand to a coach. For such a big lady, she is so agile. Sharp reactions as she turns in under her opponents. Tolofua shadows as far as height is concerned. She's got that strong defensive arm, that left hand on the lapel. The right hand goes over the top, and as soon as she plants it, Ortiz spins underneath. Wazari And now the Osakomi. Tolofua desperately trying to get out, but Ortiz only knows she's got 10 seconds, and there she has it. Wazari Asetiapon takes her into the semi-final of this World Championships. Now she'll be up against the winner of the next quarter-final match coming up, and that's between Majika of Puerto Rico in the white, and it'll be Asahina of Japan. So this will be quite an interesting one. And to be honest, I can't see past Asahina. She's been looking really good out there. And big smiles and lots of loving going on there. What a wonderful ambassador for Cuban and international judo for women.
Tatami won the last quarter-final women or 78 kilo category.
Negyed döntő következik az egyes számú szőnyegen. Szőnyegre lép Puerto Rico színeiben Melissa Moika, ellenfel a japán képviselő, Asahina Sara.
Asahina, left hand on the lapel and the right hand on the lapel. Double lapel grip there, you can see, for Asahina. Majika braces against the sasai of Asahina. We saw that being very effectively executed in the previous match. She scored a wazari and then straight into the Osakomi.
For Brazil, David Moura. In blue judogi for Turkey, Cemal Erdoğan.
The ultimate exertion there, that little squeal that we hear from Sara. Change once again, but comes round, forward attack, straight onto the rear as well, but not quite sure if it was a score. I don't think the shoulder connected. I think she landed on her front, Majika, from this angle. Let's see if we can see it from, this is the referee's commission camera. Oh, the elbow was there, blocking. Always difficult to see what happened when you're on the other side, so better safe than sorry. Check with the referees that they can look from the cameras at different angles. Asahina off that lapel now, setting up her opponent. Majika will get a shido. Infringement of the grips.
Tatami 5 minutes to go.
Hármas számú szőnyegen 5 perc van hátra a kezdésig.
Sasai again. No Soto, she came in fast, but just lost control of the upper body. If she'd kept that grip, she would have spanked her over there. 1.5 minutes remaining in the contest. Asahina firmly in control of the contest right throughout. Has the lapel and sleeve grip, uses a sasai to open up. A couple of times that's been quite successful in scoring in the rounds. Majika picking up the second shido. Asahina at 1. So one more for the Puerto Rican, and it'll be all over and done with. Draws her opponent down to the ground. Asahina again flexing a lot of power there. Again, Sara accelerating that little squeal. Comes right across, taking her opponent off to the side, scoring Ippon. And there's no argument with that one. Last minute of the contest and an explosion of technical expertise from Sara Asahina, who goes into the semi-final of this plus 78s with Ortiz of Cuba.
Ladies and gentlemen, the preliminary contests on Tatami 1 has finished.
Hölgyeim és uraim, az egyes számú szőnyegen befejeződtek a selejtező mérkőzések.
Tatami 2 minutes to go.
2 perc, és folytatjuk a küzdelmeket a 3-as számú szőnyegen.
Держать! 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 Keep! Good.
Next contest, second round for men order, 100 kilo. In white jewelry. Natural athlete, representing RJF, Continental Prix. In blue, representing Germany, Sven Heine. Next contest, second round for men order, 100 kilo. In white jewelry. Natural athlete, representing RJF, Continental Prix. In blue, representing Germany, Sven Heine.
Baja, baja ahí. 10.
The second round for men order, 100 kilo.
Уходи, 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 поднимай. Хорошо. Держи удержание, держи удержание! Держи, 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 ногу вытащи, вытащи ногу. Вот так, держать! Рычаг, рычаг, рычаг! Держать, держать, держать! Еще, прижмись, прижмись! Держать, держать, держать!
Geh. Halten. Ziehen. Super.
Side coming.
Sigue brazo, sigue. Sí. Baja la cabeza. Baja la cabeza abajo.
Уходи. Еще тихо.
Двигайся. Ренат, ты стоишь удобно.
And the winner's contest second round for women.
Nein. Stehen.
Representing Continental, final for men over 100 kilo category.
A 3-as számú szőnyegen elődöntő következik férfi plusz 100 kg-ban. Szőnyeglelén a riói és londoni olimpiák bronzérmese brazil színekben Rafael Silva, ellenfele a japán képviselő világranglista 8. Kageura Kokoro.
today in the preliminaries. We remind you that
Well, good afternoon and welcome to our roundup of all the action from the preliminaries on day 7, this final day of individual competition here at the Judo World Championships. And I'm delighted to be standing alongside Loretta Kusatdal, a former world champion, who can tell us all about what we've seen. Loretta, let's begin with the under 78 kilo category.
Well, it was a good, interesting competition, really, up to now for this weight category. You had 40 competitors. There's obviously one or two that are not here, but those that were the likes of Ortiz as the number 1 seed coming into this competition was strong right from the word go. The biggest challenge was Asahina in that semi-final, and that was what we would expect, a very closed shop contest. Neither one of them were giving much away, but when it actually come down to it, in the golden score, they managed to Asahina managed to then defeat Ortiz, who will go now down and fight away for a bronze medal. Now, Asahina's looked on form. Her sasais are working extremely well for her. She's been bringing the larger girls, women down by just using her ashiwazers, and her transition again, like we always expect with the Japanese, are extremely fast and very precise. And this is what's been a sort of winning ingredient for her today. And I think this is what we're going to be looking for in the final. But in that final, she's going to come against a teammate from Japan. And they have fought each other before. Tomita they've had one each, a head-to-head as far as wins. The last time they came together was in Tokyo for the Osaka, it was, for the Grand Slam, and that's where Asina had won. That was in 2019. But before that was back in 2015, and the roles reversed there. So it's one each, but I think the person that's on form and the one that is so hungry and that desire and has that youth behind her is obviously Asahina. So for me, that's the prediction of that final. Bronze medal, well, I would say that you've got Atherman and Ortiz. Now, we spoke about this earlier on, that we had looked at the head-to-heads and they have competed against each other 16 times, and Ortiz has beaten her every time. So you've got to say she's got to be quietly confident when she comes out for that bronze medal. If it all goes wrong, well, you know, that's definitely an amazing win for the Brazilian. So again, we've got to see, will it be 17 or will it be 16-1? So that's something we've got to look for.
And in the second bronze medal contest, who have we got there?
Tolofua from France, for me, is my bet. Watching her, she's quite a tall but very, very strong athlete. She comes over with the right hand high on the collar. Those legs step right across for an osotogari. She's deadly on that. When she gets the grip, high collar or deep on the back, she is very, very dangerous. Good gripping style and very powerful in her entry to her attacks. She follows right through, and she's unstoppable if she gets too hands-on. And that'll be the danger for Souza, and that's something she's got to watch. If she stands still with her and she allows her to come over the top, it's all over and done with.
Okay, that's the lineup that we've got for you in the plus 78 kilo category. Let's take a look at how things went in the plus 100 kilo category.
Well, Bashiev was the number 1 seed coming into this World Championships, and no surprises, he's in the final. This is somewhere you had Rafael Silva, who again was the number 2. He fell to Kagura in that semi-final. Again, it was a really interesting match, and part of me is a little bit disappointed for Silva, because I just thought if he got any chance of getting in that final, this was the year to do it. And but sadly, Kagura, he was on form. Again, he was very, very strong. He was one of the top 4 seeds, and so there's no surprise him being in that final. It's going to be very interesting between those two. But I think Bashiev, for me, is someone that's just that little bit sharper, and I think he might just come through. But again, you can't write either one of these two athletes off for that number 1 spot. They're both great judo players.
Right, you mentioned Tamalan Bashayev, you mentioned Rafael Silva and Kageura Kokoro. What happened to our number 4 seed, Gela Zalashvili of Georgia, the 21-year-old Georgian?
Well, he fell from Bashiev, so no
In
surprise.
that semi-final.
In the semi-final, so that was the sort of stumbling hurdle for him. But he is there with Camo. He's there in for a bronze medal. He's in for a chance for a place on that podium, and so we can't write him off. And to be honest, when you look at the lineup, there was 32 athletes participating in this weight category, and there was some strong athletes in the mix. So to be on that podium after everything that we've seen and the quality of athletes that's participated, that will be a good result with the lead up to the Olympic Games.
I've got some concerns for Gela Zalishvili when it comes to the bronze medal contest with Yahiv Kamo, simply because of the physique and the style of Yahiv Kamo. It's very similar to Tamerlan Bashaev. This is not one of those big, typical super heavyweights. There's lots of movement, nice throwing skills, and I think that Gela Zalishvili, for two reasons, is going to suit Yahiv Kamo. One, he is a genuine super heavyweight, Gela Zalishvili, and the other thing is he's coming after this, really deflating loss that he's just had in the semi-final. He's going to have a little bit of trouble, bouncing back and coming back against Kamo. A little bit tricky, this one for him, I think.
But what you can't write off is that he is so agile, very flexible, he's sharp and he's fast, especially with the heavyweights. And if he can move them and he gets in with that Sianagi, he's unstoppable. So, like you say, it all depends if he can move. If he can move the athlete and he can get underneath them, then we can see, I think, a quick win. If he can do that in the opening.
Right, okay, we've got that to look forward to at 5 o'clock. It's about four and a half hours. Yeah, we've got quite a long break today. We look forward to your company at 5 o'clock, but from Larissa Kusatdola and myself, it's bye-bye for now.
Come on, dear.